Hello and welcome to ETTO's E3 special, because no one else is calling them that, right?
No, I'm pretty sure it's just E3 special for us exclusively.
Yep.
So welcome to the only
Exclusively.
E3 special podcast on the planet.
Yeah, the only one you'll need because it's the only one that's there. We're going to talk all things and all reveals that came out of E3 and the week that it was, and also a few that just slipped before and after, because that was a weird thing that happened this time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I missed so many games, but I'll hopefully catch up. Now,
You did the best.
we jumped into this intro real quick. Who are
did.
you?
I'm Will.
And I am
you?
Josh.
That's you. That's Josh.
There you go. And Sheep and Doctor of Who.
Sheep and Doctor of Who. You
Welcome.
can find
If
us
this
on
is-
all the socials.
Yeah, if this is your first podcast with us, that's us.
Sit back, relax, and put up your foots.
Just your foots.
Just your foots. Don't put anything else up because they might smell.
Okay,
but
sure.
first off, what's been happening? What's been happening with you since the last podcast, Josh?
Oh man, friggin' busy week at work. Patches and stuff. AO International Tennis.
There you go.
It's been a crazy one, and there was a Pokemon event today. It was very cold out, but there was a whole lot of Larvitar, which is one of the Pokemon
Oh,
from
that's
Gen 2.
Surely that'd be welcoming on a cold day. Larvitar. That
You would
sounds
hope so,
lovely.
yeah. But man, it was damn cold. I was wearing my hobo fingerless gloves all day. And then I saw Tag, and I saw Incredibles 2 last night, and they were great. Maybe we
did.
can talk about them when you've seen them, because somehow
I think so.
jumped
Maybe that'll
in
be
before
next
you.
weekends.
Yes.
It's a first.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I had to spend a couple of $100 getting my battery replaced in my car. And then once that was replaced, I jumped in it and went to KFC for some reason.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's what I had for
The hell
dinner.
is wrong with
They
you?
got my order wrong, so I had my first piece of KFC chicken, just
Ugh.
chicken. Usually I get a burger. So that was weird. And
Bad to worse.
then I looked down at my finger and my pants, and I was covered in blood. So
Jesus.
it's been an interesting night.
Let's not dive into what happened there. Let's just leave the audience on edge and me on edge. I'm on the edge of my seat.
No,
and my
look,
seat's not very big.
Honestly, I'm on edge. I have no
Oh.
idea what
No
happened.
idea where the blood came from.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Did you eat a living chicken?
Maybe? I don't know, but it was on the top. I think I cut my finger, but I don't know how or
Right.
when.
What shit chicken?
Yeah, I don't know.
I actually had McDonald's from our local one. Well, your previous local one, my current one still.
Indeed.
And it took me, I think, around an hour to get my meal.
What?
Yeah. So what happened was I was standing there and I was like, I'll let this happen because I can see other people are waiting. The waiting involved for everyone else that was around me was already half an hour. So I'm already this is a bit shit. But 45 minutes, they were like, hey, sir, is there something wrong? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, what's your order number? I'm like, 52. And they were like, oh, it says we made it. And I'm like, oh, that's funny because you didn't. And they're like, oh, we'll just make it for you now. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, make me
for
double or
that.
give me my money back or something. Holy
Well,
crap.
she was like, here's we threw in a small chips for you. It's like, I don't want more chips.
Yeah.
I got a large chips. Why
That
would I
is-
want more chips?
That is so much salt and potato.
No, I don't want more chips.
Man,
yeah, so that
they
was
should
an
have
experience.
asked you what you wanted. You could have gotten an ice
think
cream
so.
or something.
Well, they were like, oh, our McMuffins are gonna take a little while. It's like, oh, the hour that I just stood here. I'll wait for the McMuffin. I don't want a different muffin. I don't want a second burger. I just want a McMuffin.
Yeah, just give me
She
what
was
I
like,
ordered.
oh, we'll get there. And then I think it was another 10-minute wait, so that was great. But I love McDonald's.
Far out. What the hell happened? That's weird.
Who knows? They've always been rubbish, but that was worse than usual.
Crazy. When was that?
Last Saturday
Okay.
at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
After we recorded it. Oh no, last Monday. I guess it was a public holiday, but an hour and a bit is too much.
That is way too much. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm.
Was that the Maccas that you were eating on one of your videos?
That's the Maccas you would have seen in my Microsoft Bethesda video.
Very good, very good. Yeah, so Will's
you
had a
go.
very, very busy week.
I have.
making a video for every single E3 conference except for like PC and some of the indies and stuff.
Yeah.
But
So I didn't do
holy
Devolver or
crap.
PC gaming, but yeah, it's been a big week for me. You can catch up on all of that on youtube.com/each their own. There's a playlist, and also the videos are all there. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a long week.
Yeah,
Tried to make
yeah,
them fun. Tried
definitely.
to make them
And
interesting.
I loved how disheveled you got over the week. You just get more. Your hair just gets worse and worse
Yeah.
over time until the last video where your hair
Nintendo's
is
one is
just
the worst.
everywhere. It looks amazing.
It's-
So-
I woke up and was like, I'm not going to have a shower, I'm just going to wear clothes and pretend that I was awake.
It's so good. So yeah, show Will some love by checking out his videos and chucking a like and subscribe if you haven't
Yeah.
already.
And also you can hit the patreon.com/each their own to donate a little bit of money. Not much, don't worry, just $2 is fine.
Yeah, $2 will get you into our super secret Discord, which has a few members, and we've been chatting about E3
does.
all week. But yeah, jump in on that and come chat to us. It'd be great.
Yeah, join Daniel and Lucas. They're
Yes.
good people. Actually, before we dive into E3, one last little tidbit. I was at Supernova today.
Yes, you had a
Had the
very busy
absolute-
Saturday today.
It was a very pleasure. It never ends, mate. I met the lovely king of video games. Really, I think should be his title.
Oh my, yes.
Good old mate Nolan North
Oh,
is
so
in town
jealous.
for Supernova Sydney. Yeah, but he's also in Perth next weekend. So if you're a Perthonian, make sure you go down to your Supernova because I think he's there, along with the I guess the prince of video games, Troy Baker.
Oh, so good. It was so good meeting him last year.
Yeah,
And
2 years I think.
2 years ago, yeah, and I'm super jealous that Nolan wasn't there for that and that you got
Yeah.
to meet him today.
Got him this
But
time.
I will thank you now in front of all these lovely listeners for getting my Uncharted 4 cover signed by Nolan
I
North,
did indeed.
which
I did
was also signed 2 years ago by Troy Baker.
It was.
Very good,
Um,
very good.
When
And you
I
said,
put the two in front of him, because it had like Josh and Will, and he's like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, "I'm Will." Oh, hello, not Josh.
beautiful. He's such a he sounds amazing. He sounds so great.
He's great. And so you could do selfies as well. I didn't do selfies because I'm going to get a dual photo with the king and prince tomorrow. But basically when I went up to him, because everyone seemed to be saying different things, and I was like, I'm going to say something different, and I didn't. I was like, I'm like a big fan of all your work, and you've probably heard that all day. And he's like, no, it's fine. But then I was like, I'll add something interesting. And I'm like, my favorite Nolan North thing is like when you're playing a game, and it's usually when you're in a stealth section, and you're like just listening out and watching all the bad guys, and there's always a bad guy that you hear, and you're like, oh my god, that's Nolan North. And then he rattled into a great story about it, and he's like, yeah, well, the cool thing about that is generally you have motion capture, and they're like, just work on your face. We'll use the basic walk, cycle stuff for the body. And I'm always like, I want you to be able to hear my voice and see me as that bodyguard. So I was like, I always do a limp. So if you ever see a bad guy with a limp, that's me. I just make it known that that's the bad guy that I'm playing. And I was like, that's a great story.
That is
I've
really
got
cool.
A little unique Nolan North moment.
That's such a cool thing to look out for now.
Yeah.
And to do that all the time in every game.
Look out for Last of Us 2. Surely there'll be a limping bad guy.
Oh, there's got to be. That's amazing.
He played
that is so cool.
He played a proper bad guy in the first game, but so I'd assume he'd have to be a side bad guy.
Yeah. And you'd assume in that sort of scenario, in that world, there's got to be someone limping.
Someone would have a limp.
Yeah.
I mean, Ellie's probably shot him in in the knee with an arrow, probably.
Yeah, probably. So good.
But speaking of Ellie, we should dive into the opposite end of the conferences, which is EA, and let's just talk about some games.
Sure. LE3.
LE3.
E3.
That's what we'll call this.
LE3. Done.
This video.
Sold.
LE3. Let's start off with the first game that was dropped in the conference, which was Battlefield 5.
Yes.
Nothing too interesting until 6 minutes into the conference. What happened?
Oh, they freaking announced Battle Royale. Hell yeah. Love Battle Royale. Everyone loves Battle Royale. Everyone wants Battle
was
Royale.
so excited.
I just want more Battle Royale.
God.
No.
I've never heard such quiet in a room.
It was just a sigh of like, Okay,
Oh,
sure,
yeah, great.
why not? Whatever.
But it's also Battlefield 5. It's a World War II game. Like, at what point in World War II did everyone go, you know what, let's all just jump into a map and kill each other, like, no matter what side we're on? Like,
Yeah,
this isn't the battlefield to put this in.
it seems very strange. It's
Yeah.
yeah, freaking battle royale. I'm so over it.
get
It's
it.
only been like a year. My goodness. Yes.
And within that, they were also like, and there'll be loot boxes, and everyone was like, yeah, cool. I mean, that shouldn't have to be said, but great, thank you.
Yeah, it seems funny. Like there was a bit of a cheer, and it's like that's sort of
Yeah.
a sad point in time in which
We're like, yeah,
you announce no loot boxes, and that has to be praised. Like far out, guys. Come on.
disgusting.
So bad. But how do you feel about Battlefield 5?
I'm tepidly excited.
Yep.
I'll see how it goes. I mean, I didn't pick up Call of Duty World War II. I played a little bit, but it's like, I don't know. I don't really want to simulate a war. And it's nothing a political correctness thing. It's just like, I want to play some interesting war or like a unique made-up war. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too interested in the idea of that combat. And also, the guns are just terrible to use. Like, they're just not fun guns to shoot.
Yeah, fair enough. I never got to try Battlefield 1, the World War One game, which just
Oh, yeah, of
looked
course.
stunning and beautiful.
Oh, it was good.
I
Some
am
good
way
horsey
more
action as
interested
well.
in that than this.
Yes.
But yeah, I never got around to it. But yeah, I'm like, I'll probably leave this one.
I'll pick it up if it's cheap enough. But apart from that, nah, I'm good.
What was next?
Next was we cut to the crowd to the redhead host who was terrible, and she chatted to Respawn's beautiful prince that I can't remember his name about their new Star Wars game, and it was awful.
Great. But we have no information about this yet, do we?
Nothing. We've got Jedi Fallen Order is the title, and we know that it's set
Sound like you
between-
said Jedi Fallen Over.
I tried not to, but I made the joke in the video, and now it's how I read it.
It's great.
And we know that it's set between 3 and 4 during the dark times of the Jedi Purge, and we're following the journey of a youngling that has escaped the Jedi Temple on Coruscant.
That's a very cool concept.
Mm.
I really
Very
like
cool.
that. I'm really intrigued already.
Yeah.
I would like to see what this is.
Yeah, and so the reason we actually have a tiny snippet, which I can't show you because this is audio, but if you go back to, I think it's like 2013, whenever EA was officially announced as Star Wars' leading brand, looting, they released this, like, the future of Star Wars thing, and there's, like, one bit where it's, like, you see the Respawn logo, and then it pans up over it, and, like, there's two people dueling in, like, mocap suits with lightsabers, and
Okay.
one of them is, like, a clearly 10-year-old boy. So I think that's probably our first look at what that character might look like, and he's battling a dude with a red lightsaber, so we can only assume at some point he comes face to face with someone.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a little cheeky look there.
Sick.
Yeah, and we moved on from there to some Battlefront 2 news, which was just horrendous, because they were like, hey, we got new stuff, but we haven't made any of the models for it, and everyone was like, yeah, cool, alright, move on.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. The guy was like, hey, we got General Grievous, and we've also got these other characters, but don't cut out because I don't have any photos of them, I'm sorry.
That's bizarre.
But moving on to a game that we have both actually played, it's Unravel 2.
Yes.
TWO.
Yes, there is there's a playthrough on our YouTube channel, so go check that out. And this was really cute.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. More Unravel. I'm good with this.
Yeah. I didn't get to play a whole bunch of the first one. I think I probably played a bit of the demo, probably at yours, to be honest. Yeah, this was really good. I do want to jump back to Unraveled 1 before jumping onto Unraveled 2, but these are definitely games
dudes.
that I'm interested in. I love these sort of little indie platforming ones that sort of have a unique platforming thing to it. I love games like this.
I've delved a little bit deeper than our first play as well. I literally was playing a little bit of it, and it
Nice.
just gets better. It's what you see in our first play is basically a tutorial, and later on the puzzles are great. I was worried that the 2-player thing was going to be a gimmick, but they use it very well. I'm about to sneeze, so Josh, talk about how the 2-player bit was good.
The 2-player bit was real good.
Yeah, it was great. And
He's back.
so the puzzles get. It was a quick sneeze. The puzzles, they're very. It's great. I was very like it's just like the first game. When you solve a puzzle, you're just fulfilled and like you're like, wow, I'm clever. But they're all just simple enough for you to then realize, oh, am I that clever?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Like there's sort of like clear indicators of what you have to do, but you just have to find those indicators.
Yeah.
It's sort of similar like what's the game that's not Inside but was made by the same people?
Limbo.
Thank you. Limbo has a few of those. Like there's parts where I've talked to a lot of people recently. They get up to these points in Limbo where they have to give up and they just stop playing Limbo because they can't get past it.
Totally.
But
and you come back and you're like, oh, idiot.
You find it and you're like, that was the most obvious freaking thing ever, but it was just hidden very sneakily. But yeah, playing this was great. Like the 2-player part, I think it would obviously be one of those games that's much more fun in co-op, playing with someone, but I'm sure it'd be just as great playing by yourself.
Yeah, no, it's been good, even without a second person.
Yeah, it's just, it seems to have really good sort of like co-op capabilities where there's one person that has to jump off and swing using the thing while the other person has to stand there and hold on to the string so it doesn't unravel more. Just so many cool little things in this. I think they did really well stepping up those mechanics.
Yeah, from the first game. It's very good, and I love a good instant announcement. Like, the game's out, enjoy.
Yes, yeah, and you said that they did it like so casually that you almost missed the fact that they announced a new game.
Yeah, the guy from FIFA and Madden and stuff was just like, yeah, so that was Unravel 2 and it's out now if you want to get it on the PlayStation. Now moving on to FIFA 19. I was like, oh, what?
It's
I missed
so
something.
Crazy. And I guess we can probably jump through these sports ones pretty quick. They announced FIFA 19, Madden 19, and NBA Live 19.
Like, yay, I guess.
So, yeah, fine. Neither one of us are that interested in those at all.
No.
But
no.
Sure, they're things,
out.
and people like sports games. I make sports games for a living, and I'm not interested.
You do.
So, yeah, I'm sure people will get a lot out of that. Fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
But then we got Sea of Solitude, which is a very interesting game, and an adorable developer that came out.
It looks so good. It looks like such a beautiful, dark, sad world. So many weird ways.
It is of that Unravel in Limbo and Inside world, I think.
Yeah.
Mixed with a bit of Yonder or a bit of Rhyme. It's
yes.
all of those games just packed into one.
Yeah, sort of like a bit of fantasy, bit of platforming, it looks like, and sort of the darkness of some of those games as well.
Yep.
It looks really interesting. And like you said, that developer, very cute.
Yeah.
And like so passionate about this game.
Oh, yeah.
She was so keen.
It is her baby.
Yeah, absolutely. What was she?
German.
I meant like cool. What role does she have in this game? Is she like
creative director and writer?
Okay, yeah. So that makes sense why that is literally her baby. She created this thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, definitely one to check out.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that one. And then, of course, we landed at the end on Anthem.
Yes, which looked the same as it did the first time.
It felt like it was like we were just following a different perspective of one of the characters that was in the other demo. Like, I was like, I'm getting nothing new out of this, guys.
Yeah, totally. I want to see more about this game because it looks, I don't know. A lot of people are saying
it's
bland,
impossible.
And I guess it sort of does, but I'm still probably gonna get it. Yeah, I'm intrigued to know what this is.
Yeah, it looks like the version of Destiny that I would play.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Because I'm not gonna jump into any more Destinies, but
no.
This one looks interesting. Like this is like Iron Man meets Destiny.
Yeah. And they also announced, they also were like, hey, no loot boxes. It's like, thanks, I guess. Again, I don't really
great.
know what to do with this.
Sweet. Thanks, EA.
Yeah. But so Anthem comes out, I think February or January next year, which
Okay.
a few people were peeved about because it was originally this year. But it's like just let them make their game. Let's just wait. It's probably
Yeah.
safer.
Yeah, it'll be better if, like, the longer they take, hopefully, the better it is.
Yeah,
Like
Don't rush 'em.
they're pushing it back for a reason.
yeah.
So if games are ever delayed, people, listeners, it's for a good reason, and you wouldn't want
It
it
is.
on the release date if they need to push it back. You would not want it. You
No.
would hate the game. You'd probably return it, and you'd probably say, "Well, I'm not going to play that again ever." So
Don't do it, guys.
it's delayed for a reason. Just wait. It'll be
And
better.
if you see the game early in Big W, tell them to put it back behind the counter.
Yes, I had to do that back in where we lived when
Yeah.
a game that we were releasing came out like a week or two early, and I was like,
Not yet.
just drop the fact that I'm a developer on this game and it shouldn't be out yet.
Yeah.
Very good times.
Very dangerous. But as a conference, EA, a bit of a flop.
Yeah, it seemed people sort of hated this.
Mm.
They were not keen. It seemed to fall flat a lot of the time.
Yeah, just going through all the games we've got, like, the only one we really got any new gameplay for was Anthem, and a bit of Battlefield 5, but, like, that was it. And Unravel, I don't think you could count as getting gameplay if the game is coming out. So everything else, it's like,
Yeah, other than Sea of Solitude as well.
Yeah, that was a feature.
Yes,
So,
yeah. So there's a couple of good things in there, but overall, for some pretty big games that should get people more excited, and for a company as big as EA, I think they ran this conference fairly poorly.
And Jedi Fallen Order is coming out next year, so if you want to hype us, now would have been the time.
Yeah, not just like, yeah,
It's coming out at some
we're
point.
making this game. Thanks.
No.
Not a good way to do that. All right,
No.
but let's move on. We have a lot to talk about.
Your era of time.
Yes,
or
we have so many games to
your
talk
baby.
about right now.
Yeah, we do, and we're on minute 23.
Oh,
Your
buddy.
Sony, Microsoft.
Yes,
They were up next.
that's right. Yes, so Microsoft. Look, I've got an Xbox. I'm leaning more towards Sony these days, anyway. Yeah. But I think we can probably jump through. We've got a list here. Let's just go from top to bottom instead of like in order. We'll probably get through it pretty quick. Nier Automata, which was PlayStation exclusive, is now coming to Xbox.
Yep.
So great for Xbox people that wanted to play that. I've heard very good things. I have it. I haven't played it yet. Apparently it's just like, think of every game style you can ever imagine, and that's it. Like all the boss fights are like a different style of game, and then you finish it, and then the game starts over from someone else's perspective, and it's like an entirely new game.
Oh yes.
Like, it sounds really interesting, so I do need to get to it, but there's just so many other things happening, so many other games coming out right now.
Few games.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is the sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, which just looks so beautiful.
It's so pretty.
And sounds so beautiful. Man, the music in that. I need to play the first one. I've heard very, very good things. So you've played a bit of it?
I have played. I think I've played about 2.5 hours, and I was like, I think I put a dent into this, and then opened the map, and it was like a speck. And I was like, oh, good.
Yeah. I've heard such good things about it, and this one looks just as good. Very, very keen to jump into that world.
Yeah.
And then we jump over to Forza Horizon 5, which is
I
actually
need an
Forza
Xbox.
Horizon 4. So I think I mentioned probably at some point, maybe last week or the week before in our podcast, that Walmart announced Forza Horizon 5, accidentally leaked that, even though Forza Horizon 4 didn't exist. But here we go. It's actually Forza Horizon 4, and this just looks beautiful.
It does. I'm going to England in me Maserati or whatever the first car was. I was in. I'm in.
Yes.
I'm in for this game.
Of course,
Some
it's a
sexy
car
roads.
game. This is your thing.
This is the time I get an Xbox. This is the moment.
That's right. And then you can get Forza Horizon 3 as well, and you can drive around Australia.
Oh, a weird, fucked up hybrid of Australia.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like a lot of the other games are probably that, but because we don't live there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this
we
is
wouldn't
not
notice.
England.
Yes, very much. But guess what, Will?
What?
The seasons change everything.
Ah,
The amount of times
Shit.
that guy said that was ridiculous. I'm intrigued to know what he means, because the only thing that sounded like it changed anything was winter.
like snow?
Yeah,
surely.
winter, the river freezes over, and so you can get to locations that you can't get to when it's not winter.
Mm.
So I don't know how spring, autumn, and summer change anything.
Maybe summer overheats your car. Spring, there's like a shit ton of bugs on your window. So if you drive through with in first person view, you can't see anything.
Yes.
And then autumn, you have to actually. There's a mini game where you have to remove all the leaves from your bonnet.
Look, that would be great.
Yeah, I'd be in.
I'm
I
in.
mean, I'm already in.
Yeah, I'm in. I loved when I was getting my car fixed tonight. I was just pulling leaves out of my bonnet. So, like, get me that.
You've already done it.
Get me leaf bonnet pulling out simulator 2018, 2019. When's this coming out?
2019.
2019.
Maybe 2019.
Right. Let's
Actually,
do
no.
that.
I think the game comes out this year, but generally, like FIFA, it'll have the following year's number.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that.
And then
But yeah, I think it comes out this year. A lot of games come out this year from
it's
from,
pretty
like,
good.
announcement to now.
it's going to be a good 1 year of games being from now until next E3.
Oh yes.
But let's get into the rest. There was the recently leaked and then announced days later Just Cause 4.
Yes.
Um,
Which looks good.
Yeah, it looks like a Just Cause game. Looks like Just Cause 3, but sort of more and another Just Cause game, I guess.
Yeah, there's more weather. So we've got
There's more
tornadoes,
weather.
We've got, yeah,
It's
more seasons.
This must be what Microsoft is getting into. They're just building
They're like,
weather
okay, we're making
engines.
games finally, so let's try to do some weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got tornadoes, we've got sandstorms, we've got thunderstorms. There's lots of storms, and yeah, no, that's it.
Well, storms are weather, so it's
That's
a weather
true.
type.
Weather type.
I guess, yeah. So there you go. Weather Explosive Simulator 2019.
Mexicans. Moving on to Ooblets, which is a game I didn't know about. I missed it. You have seen it with your eyes.
Yes, yeah. I saw a trailer on a live stream of Good Game Spawn Point, featuring Barjo this time, which was great.
Yes.
This seems to basically be like Pikmin, but with less plants and more sort of weird creatures and stuff. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it seems pretty cute. A little bit indie, bit fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
More indie games is always good. There was also within the Microsoft press conference, there was an id Software montage of a bunch of different indie games. Some of them look good, but they're those sort of indie games that you're like, they're Steam indie games that are now published by Microsoft. So they still have that feel, but a bit more flair. The only thing in there that really stood out is that there's Cuphead DLC, and that's where the footage of the Cuphead DLC is, not in the teaser trailer.
Yeah, but within that as well, they announced a hostile takeover of 5 indie companies.
Yes.
Probably not so hostile, hopefully. But
They're getting their Disney fingers in there.
That's it. They're just buying up all of the indies, and I guess that's cool. A lot of the companies I had never heard of. I'd heard of some of the games that they said that some of those guys had made, but great.
Well, they are
Fine.
indie.
Yeah. So I guess that's good. It's good for indies to get more funding to be able to make bigger, better, greater
Absolutely.
games. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the opposite of the Disney buyouts. This is like, we're helping the little guys, whereas Disney are like, we're taking away the big guys.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, cool, fine. Speaking of the
Cool.
big guys, we have Xbox's baby Halo Infinite.
The Juggernaut. Yeah, this was a very confusing trailer until there was the Green Man, and it was like, oh, okay, I guess this is the game.
Yeah. Which I think they seem to do a lot with their Halo reveals. They sort of they have a lot of like atmosphere and things happening, and then right at the end of the trailer, it's just like here, like I think the last one, it was like here's Master Chief in like a torn cotton hoodie thing,
right?
And it was sort of like, yeah, that's crazy. Why is he wearing a hoodie? Because he's still got his helmet on anyways. He doesn't. What is happening? But
disguise.
Very similar.
Not
this
if I do
time.
this.
Yeah. Very similar this time, but he's holding his helmet, so he's actually not wearing it, which is
he's
interesting.
de-helmeted.
But you still don't see his head. But then the exciting thing right at the end is him putting a little chip into the back of his head, which I'm taking as, having not played the last one or this one, but just assuming Cortana is back after dying in Halo 4.
Yay!
And that is exciting because Cortana is great, and she's just a great part of that series. So that's good. Very good.
There you go. That's Halo. It had a good soundtrack as well, which a lot of the big teaser trailers from these conferences had a really good orchestral thing, which gets Willie excited.
Yeah, game music is just so beautiful. It's great.
Oh, we've come a long way.
Speaking of
yeah,
here we go.
Let's move on to Session.
Yeah.
Oh,
speaking of beautiful games, Session was not great.
It's not one of them.
Yeah, when I first started watching this, I was like, hell yeah, skateboarding game, get this in me. It has been so long since I played a skateboarding game. I used to love the Tony Hawk games. I played like 1, 2, 3, 4, Underground 1, Underground 2, the one on DS. Freaking loved the Tony Hawk games. I played a bit of Skate, not a whole lot, because I was getting into different games at that stage. And then this came out, and it looked so choppy. The animations just were not smooth at all.
It looks like a PSP port.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that is like alpha footage and that they're going to be smoothing that out, because it just did not look good. But I want a good skateboarding game. Please. Fix it.
Please.
Yes.
But speaking of moving away from whatever the hell that thing was, we got 3 new Gears games, but we'll focus mainly on one of the others. We've got Gears Tactics and Gears Pops. Gears Pops, I don't know what's going on there.
It seems very strange for Pops to now be making a game and for them to be starting at Gears of War.
Yeah,
and
weird choice, mate.
And it's a mobile game.
It is.
Android and iPhone. What the hell?
We don't know what the game is, but we will find out next year.
Yes.
But the big thing of the Gears, there's a trilogy of games there, but Gears 5 is the new game, and I'm very excited for that. It looks very good.
Yeah, it does look good. You haven't played a Gears game, have you? You haven't had an Xbox.
I have not.
So, but this looks really good. I haven't played much Gears. I've played little bits, but I never owned the Gears of War games, so I never got to play through them. This is making me want to now, though.
Oh,
because I've always wanted to get into these games, but I just never did. And I kind of like that they're now just adopting the shortened version of their games, just Gears.
I like that.
It's not Gears of War 5. It's actually called Gears 5.
Yep.
Which is interesting. But
which
it follows...
might be down to focusing down more on the character and like less of the war.
Yeah, and it's the guy's daughter.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. So that'd be cool.
She was introduced in the previous game.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah. So yeah, I'm super intrigued with that.
Yeah. Looks good. Looks pretty.
Yeah. Super keen.
As
it'll
do
be
all
interesting.
Games. You can't even say that anymore.
Sorry?
You can't even say that anymore. All games look pretty, apart from Session.
Apart from Sessions, yes, this is very true. So let's just assume from now on, every game,
it's pretty,
unless we say otherwise, is probably very pretty. Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to look at these games. Well, it'll be interesting to play these games as a smaller woman instead of this giant brute man, because they've always done a really good job at making these the massive, like, muscly men covered in huge armor feel really heavy. as you're running. Like, they did a really good job at making them feel very heavy and brutish. But here, the girl is quite a bit smaller than that. Still got a lot of armor and stuff, but it'd be interesting to play a Gears game that doesn't have that sort of heavy brute feel. So I'm intrigued to look into that after hopefully playing the other Gears games.
Yes, I'll join you in that endeavor, I think.
Very
but moving on to a game that is like, I guess it's Battletoads. They didn't really reveal anything. There's another one.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't think Battletoads has had a game since the first one. Maybe it has. I don't know. Was anyone asking for this? Probably not.
Well, the thing was like, you've waited for 13 years or whatever. It's like, really? Who has?
Yeah, it's real weird. So yeah, whatever. I think we can just skip past this because
we really can.
Sure. To our favorite trailer of E3, Kingdom Hearts 3. My goodness.
Look, the game looks cool. We're not knocking the game when we talk about this trailer, but because the game looks great. The game looks very cool. I like the look of the worlds. I like the look of the gameplay, even though the gameplay seems to be quite choppy. The frame rate's all over the place, but
looks very framey.
Some cool things.
Yeah, I think
trailer.
I want to be into this series. I'm super intrigued. One of the guys at work has been talking about this very, very highly. He's extremely excited and was like, man, I would explain Kingdom Hearts to you if we had time, but I just can't. There is too much to talk about. And I'm like, dude, it's fine. I don't really want to hear about it. I'd rather play it anyway. But man, yeah. The trailer for this was so bad. About halfway through, it's just music and dialogue with no sound effects, despite there being a strange amount of
like
things that probably required sound effects. Yeah. Like, my goodness, what the hell were they thinking? What happened?
So, I got the download from Alan, our sometimes cameraman, that apparently the game is split up into 3 chapters in terms of their development. And chapter 1 is apparently 80% done, chapter 2 is apparently 20% done, and the final chapter is like not even started. So, what can be assumed is that the bits that have a full audio mix are from chapter 1, and then the other ones, all they have done is the voice.
Right. You would assume, though, that they could just for the trailer,
just put a noise.
for like it's like a minute.
Yeah.
Like,
employ me.
I'll
do
it. Throw in some sound effects. Come on, guys. Terrible. It was so ridiculous. I think one of the parts that I feel like we responded to like massively was Mickey sticking his head through a portal and just going, "Is that?" And that was it. Like, what the hell was that?
How's that? And then she's like, "It's too late, Mickey." It's like, what the fuck?
It was so strange.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Very, very odd. But it's like staying with this because there was 3 different trailers that came out. There was one in this Microsoft conference. There was one, I think, in the Ubisoft one. Mm-hmm. And there was one... Oh, no. Microsoft, Square Enix,
yes.
And Sony as well.
Yeah.
Square Enix didn't have much more. There was a bit of Ratatouille, which is fine, I guess. Mm-hmm. People want to play as Ratatouille.
I guess, yeah.
But the last trailer was the one that I loved because we delved really deep into the Pirates of the Caribbean world. Everyone looks like... what I was going to say then was everyone looks like Johnny Depp, which is incorrect. They look like they're Pirates of the Caribbean characters. It's not friggin' Keira Knightley in drag. But they all look really cool. Apparently, Johnny Depp isn't voicing it, but it's a very good Johnny Depp sound.
Really? That wasn't Johnny Depp?
No.
Wow.
But because it's just like... When he first speaks, you're like, okay, this could be a good one. But there's a certain cadence and way that the words slur out that I was like, no one else could be doing this.
Yeah, that's crazy that that's not Johnny Depp.
Yeah, but
wow.
maybe they will get him in the end because, I mean, they've got friggin' Billy Crystal and the whole Frozen team, so I can't see why they wouldn't. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
What's up next?
Yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts.
Shakira, yeah. Shakira. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This looks
very good.
Crazy good. There was a few announcements of ninja games.
There were.
this year, which is
This
weird.
looks like the best, one of the best ones. Actually, no, the best one is very obvious.
Yes.
But this looks really cool.
They both seem like they're going to be on a very similar level.
Yeah,
Different
this one
styles,
more,
but
this will be the superior gameplay. The other one will be the superior visual.
yes, yeah. This
But
looks like
equally great.
This looks like Assassin's Creed meets ninjas. There's a lot
Well,
of
it's created by the
climbing
guys that make Dark Souls, so
Yes,
there's also
cool.
a lot of rolling in this trailer.
It did look like that as well. So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Dark Souls meets Assassin's Creed because there's a lot of jumping, climbing, swinging.
That are the assassins.
Yeah. So freaking give this game to me, please. It looks amazing.
Oof.
And then on to one of our top games for E3, I think, both of ours. Shadow of the Tomb
yes.
Raider. Oh, buddy.
Where the shit did that game come from?
Yeah, a lot of people that I've heard are like, yeah, this just looks like the same old crap. Which, to some extent, yes, but I think you and I saw more in this.
It just looks like all the, like, sure, same old crap, but it looks like the best version of that crap ever. It's like the Queen shit this out.
Yeah.
Because that woman's never had a bad meal in her life, so that shit probably looks real good.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it, like, I feel like we may be onto something with the fact that there was so much mirroring and so many, like shots just cut in half where half of Lara is painted one way and half of Lara is painted the other. I feel like there's either a branching story or some crazy weird crap is going to happen in that game that's going to change Tomb Raider as we know it, as like since the thing, what do you call it when they start again?
The reboot?
The reboot, thank you. I just had a total mental blank. It is late at night. It is nearly 11:30 at night.
It really is. But I also think that this game is going back for really the first time. The other two games dabbled, but this one is going full force into the spiritual, crazy shit world of the original game. So I like that. I like that we took our time to get fully into that as well.
Yeah. And the other one sort of jumped into it a little bit, but not heaps.
Yeah.
Like I think at the end of one, maybe, there was like this weird sort of person that was like taken over by a demon or something and you had to defeat them and there was a lot of fire and blah blah blah. But yes, this one looks very, very interesting, very good. I like the location and the style. Like you said, I think we did a trailer review of a lot of Microsoft's trailers, so check that out on YouTube as well. It is quite funny, especially once we get to Kingdom Hearts 3. But you were saying how stylized and different this looks. Like it still looks like Tomb Raider, but it looks like it's Tomb Raider with a lot of style.
Yeah, which I like in games. I love a good bit of realism. You know, I love my Uncharted. I mean, by I mean they are my favorite games of all time. But I don't want to get into a realm where we are only doing realism. I want to keep our styles. Like that's what made gaming game. That's the reason Mario 64 still works, because it doesn't look human.
Yeah, it looks so bizarre.
It has an art style.
Very much, yes. Yeah, cool. And then finally on our list we have Devil May Cry 5, which I don't think either of us have ever played a Devil May Cry game.
No.
But this looks kind of insane.
Yeah.
It looks like
every single game they showed in all the conferences, I was like, yeah, I'd probably play that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this looks like Final Fantasy 15, but bigger and more explosive and ridiculous and over the top.
Oh yes.
So sure, get that in me as well. I'm keen for that.
I have put it in the wrong section because when I say this, you'll think, yeah, that probably would be made by Bethesda. But Cyberpunk 2077 actually rounded out the Microsoft conference.
Really?
The show seemed to be over, and then suddenly all the screens started staticking, and there was lots of code going on them. Right. And then we got a trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, which is fucking amazing.
Oh, buddy, I don't even know what to say. Oh, man, yes.
Oh,
so good.
This is like. Look, I've loved what I've played of The Witcher, which is a lot because it's a big freaking game and I can't be asked to finish this game. But this looks like the world I want to lose myself in. This is The Witcher, but in the future. And there's some cool shit that I want to get into before we move on. But yeah, it looks good, hey?
Yeah. Like a futuristic RPG like the Witcher games. Man, that's so good.
That's what we need. And there seems to be a lot of life on like multiple levels. There's flying cars. There's all this shit. I love it. Oh
Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. And speaking of our accidentally, look, we're doing a lot of speaking of blah 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 transitions, but that's fine. Speaking of accidentally putting Cyberpunk 2077 in our Bethesda list, which it is not one of. Let's go to Bethesda.
Actually, before we go there,
all right,
I'm gonna hack it like Cyberpunk 2077 did. Some cool things about Cyberpunk 2077 that happened at E3.
Yes.
The actor that plays Connor in Detroit Become Human. I know. Well, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
He actually went to the convention completely dressed like his character because he's entirely mocapped in the video game, so he looks like him.
That's
and it's very weird to see. But he was serving drinks at a Cyberpunk 2077 themed bar. And, people were like, what's going on, dude? And he's like, well, maybe you'll see Connor in the future. So Connor from Detroit Become Human could be a character in Cyberpunk 2077.
What?
But that's not all. I know, right? I know. We don't have much else from that, but that could be a thing. Because, it's androids and that's the future. So a little bit of dabbling. But what is a very, very, very highly possible thing is... Spoilers for The Witcher 3, but the game's been out for a while, and this is more like maybe you want to play the game if you hear this. But Ciri, which is one of the characters from that game, is able to cross dimensions. Yeah.
Dude.
That's a thing. And in The Witcher 3, she actually says to Geralt, she was like, at one point I was in a plane of existence that featured flying cars and androids. I don't even know what androids are. And it's like, she was in Cyberpunk 2077.
Holy crap, what?
Yeah.
My
maybe
goodness.
Ciri will turn up. Maybe it'll be like a background spotter if you can. But there's some cool shit that's going to go down in Cyberpunk 2077. I need that game as soon as possible.
That's crazy.
Oh, yes.
What was Detroit, who was that made by? Was that made by that company?
No.
Cool. I love company crossovers.
Yeah, give us a bit of that.
More of those. Far out.
But yes, let's move on to Bethesda, Josh.
Bethesda.
You did try to do it.
Yes.
The thing.
Let's do it now. There are so many games in this that I don't think I realized Bethesda made, and now I really want to play.
Oh yeah.
Like Rage 2 looks real good. I thought Rage 1 and Rage 2 from their initial leak trailers and whatever, or the announcement trailers. I thought that they were just like online multiplayer shooters, but just like big and bombastic and over the top. But it looks like there's actually story. I did not realize that.
Yeah, they're like a real. I mean, realistic is definitely not the word, but it's a less cell shaded Borderlands.
Yeah, that's so cool. I want to play those. And then they went on to talk about like Doom Eternal, just a sequel to Doom, which again, just more Doom. Great. Freaking intense.
And the music,
everything.
The freaking music, the best music from that game. They used it and they knew it would like just make everyone explode everywhere.
Yeah. So good. And then they
yeah,
they jumped onto some Wolfenstein Young Blood, which is about
the twins,
the Wolfenstein guy. I can't think of his name.
BJ's twins.
BJ's twins, which is cool. And then they also that just. It looks and sounds
awesome.
Great. And then they also
co-op,
talk about...
another co-op game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's co-op. Sick.
Yeah, we're getting those co-op games. Couch co-op games. Coming back.
Yeah. Is this one online as well, or only couch?
Oh, yeah. That's what I like, is that we're getting both of those options now, which is good.
Yeah. I think people have complained and stuff online enough about not enough local multiplayer games anymore.
Yeah.
So good. I'm glad the companies are listening, and then we're actually getting this stuff.
Oh yes,
it's good. And with this, they also announced Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, which sounds like I think is a Wolfenstein VR game.
It is
very cool, interesting. I would love to play this.
But along with that, there was a little bit of news on Prey. If anyone still cares about Prey, I don't think anyone cared about Prey when it came out, but someone's still got to talk about it, I guess. There's some DLC stuff. There's a Horde mode coming. And there's also a VR mission coming for that as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
And watching this was another game that I'm like, I want to play Prey. I don't know why.
Prey's got some incredible mechanics. Like, it's got the goo gun. That, like, it's just, there's a lot of weird guns and stuff in that game that seem like Gmods, but they're not.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many games in this conference that I didn't know that I wanted to play the first ones of, or even these ones and the DLCs and stuff. So, man, get me into Bethesda. I want to play everything here. One thing that I would like...
Surprise! Oh, are we going to the thing?
To Fallout?
Oh, yeah, that game happened too.
Yeah. Well, that's, like, having seen this... This week I've been looking at like a whole bunch of Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 and New Vegas videos.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just gotten me really excited for Fallout because I've barely played them before, but I want to be in this world. I want to be into these games. It was probably a bad idea trying to start from Fallout 1. I think I'll just skip those and just go straight to 3. That seems to be what a lot of people are doing. But yes, there's some pretty cool like crossovers between those games and some really interesting hidden lore going throughout all of these. And I'm interested in this. How do you feel about Fallout 76 and everything that was announced about it?
Yeah. I still don't care.
Yeah.
I like that we're going online. I like that that's a thing. I think that it's going to fall apart very, very quickly, even with their beta test. I think it's going to be a very, very dangerous thing. And old mate Todd knows. Because the fear in his face when he's like, we're going online, and then he's like, I've read bad things, but we're fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he knows something's going to happen.
Yes. Yeah, this will be very interesting. This seems to be very controversial that it's all online. People do not seem to like this at all.
Oh, no.
So I'm intrigued. I want to see how this world turns out. It's interesting that he said that like everyone you see in this world are actual other people. So where are the NPCs? How do you get missions?
Totally.
What is this game?
Well, the thing that they announced that led into him saying it was online was that initially you will be given tasks by an omniscient narrator, which is that dude from the Vault. So I think that might be how you get tasks now. Things are set up already, and because the world. Yeah, but I assume they would have to be NPCs.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Like, go here, meet this person, get this thing off them, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. That person, by the way, I believe is probably called the Overseer.
That's the one.
So there's an Overseer at every vault, I believe, and they're like the leader of that vault. So they're the ones that sort of make all the decisions and all that sort of stuff.
So he's doing that.
Yeah. So
my question then is, will you need PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live to go to play this game?
I would
an extra $70.
Yeah, I would almost definitely say yes. There are some games like this, like Destiny and stuff. I think when you buy them,
Anthem will also be that.
Yeah, it often says like PS Plus or Xbox Live required.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, but it seems to be like a pretty consistent thing nowadays that you need those things.
But that's the thing. This is like the first time we're going online with this game, and games that people just want to sit and it's like Skyrim. People only own Skyrim, and they've never had to buy PS Plus, so
yes,
pretty big thing for them to go. We're doing online. Go pay $70 that you've never paid before.
Yeah. So this will be a very interesting release, I think. Where are we going from here? What did you think we were originally going to?
I thought we were going to start the big train of scrolls.
Yes. Let's go on to that. So they announced Elder Scrolls 6, which we got a very short trailer, basically just going over some mountains with the Dovahkiin music, and then it just said The Elder Scrolls V1 or VI, which sure, it's another Elder Scrolls game, and I feel like they just did that for a bit of fan service and to get people hyped. Yeah. But
they're like, we're thinking about making it.
Yes, but they also announced this after. We'll jump back for a second. after
Well,
talking
we're
about
we're just gonna
Starfield.
keep going backwards.
Yeah, pretty much. Going to Starfield, which is their new RPG. I think they said it was like their first new IP in 25
IP,
years or something, which is crazy.
Oh yes, incredible.
But yeah, so Starfield, basically think Skyrim or Fallout in space, which I am so keen for. Like, there are so many good open world games happening right now, and I want all of them, and we'll have none of the time to play any of them.
No, but we'll get to it. Which, hang on, no, it's in Ubisoft. Starfield in a concept sounds very similar to Beyond Good and Evil 2, which we'll get to. But the idea of a space open world,
it does,
is something that is going to be explored elsewhere. But I mean, it's a Bethesda open world space game. I'm in.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'm very, very keen for this. But the thing they worded their announcement of this and Elder Scrolls 6 very, very carefully by saying we're working on our next gen game. They specifically said next gen. We are no longer in next gen with Xbox One and PS4. This is current gen now. Next gen won't be till the next console, which I feel like is still probably a year or two away. Maybe announced next year and released the year after.
Yeah, that's
or
my
something.
feeling.
But very, very carefully worded. And after they announced this, they said, and then the game after that will be, and then they announced Elder Scrolls 6. So these are years away.
Oh yes,
Very much years away. They're not coming anytime soon, and I feel like Bethesda knew that when they announced it, so they worded it very, very carefully, and I feel like they did it just for a bit of fan service and excitement.
Yeah, these are 20 and 21 titles. This like 2021 and 2020.
Absolutely,
that's when they come.
Yeah,
Because
So,
but
got a while, but you know, these.
But in the meantime,
I'm sure they're great.
You can play some terrible games on your phone or on Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online got a bit of an update. You know, if you're excited for Elder Scrolls Online, there's a werewolf update and there's also a Somerset update. So enjoy that, I guess.
Yeah, and again, this is a game that I've wanted to be in for a while, but just never did. Man,
because I mean, it's just Skyrim, but it's online.
Yeah, basically.
Why wouldn't you be doing it?
I don't have time for these things.
Well, if you haven't got time to play that, then you can play with cards in Elder Scrolls Legends, because no one else is.
Yeah. Well, that'd be great. It'll just be me by myself.
Yeah.
That way I'll win all
No
the
one cares
time.
about that friggin' game.
Which is the only way I would win. If no one else was playing.
But rounding out the weird games, we've got Elder Scrolls Blades, which looks stupid.
Yeah, this seems weird. Elder Scrolls Blades being a mobile game, which you can play in portrait mode, guys.
But here's the weirdest thing. They announced it as a mobile game and immediately went, and it'll be coming to console. It's like, well, why? What?
Yeah.
Why do I want to play this mobile game on my console when I could just play Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that I was like, this is huge. On top of this, like, this game looks kind of average, but one of the crazy things
pretty impressive.
is the fact that it says that, like, you can play with other people playing on any other console.
Yeah.
And that includes VR. So you could be, like, on the train playing this game against someone, like, playing this game on your phone against someone who's playing at their house in VR.
So this brings up the age-old cross-console debate. People on PC are going to be better than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're just going to be better.
Yeah. But, like, how... I don't understand how this works. I don't understand how all of these companies have agreed to this. Because
Totally. How are you hacking them?
PlayStation won't allow any of that.
No.
For
they won't allow Spider-Man to go home.
Yeah. Like, what is happening? I don't understand this. I'm very, very intrigued to see where this goes. I want to know how true that is. I've seen a whole bunch of advertisements and stuff for the beta of this.
Yep.
And I kind of want to jump in on it.
Might as well.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. But yes, I want to see where this goes. But we should move on.
We'll move on from Elder Scrolls Fruit Ninja to another conference.
Absolutely. Square Enix.
Yep.
We were hoping for so much more, but we didn't get it. We were really hoping for an extension on the teaser trailer from January 2017 of Avengers Reassemble, and we did not get it.
We did not get that.
Oh, man.
Which now we can only assume will come out of the back of Avengers 4 next year, next year's E3. But still, mate, just give us it now. Just give us another short teaser.
Oh, man. I want that game so bad. But let's talk about the games that were actually shown in this. We got a bit more Tomb Raider.
We did. Well, this was where we got some gameplay, an actual gameplay sequence. A bloody, 8-9 minute long one. It's great.
So good. So good. And then we got... what else did we get? We got Dragon Quest 11. Sure, I don't think either of us have played those. Babylon's Fall. What was that again?
That was an announcement of the new IP for... I can't remember the company. Might have been From Software. Is assumedly going to be... Actually, it's from the guys that made Bayonetta. So it'll be a very action and RPG kind of game, which might be cool. It looks like they all look like little juggernauts from the thing, standing in front of a big gold temple. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, right.
It was just a cinematic trailer.
I'm having a super quick look at this, looking at the trailer.
We then got a little bit of The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is a free spin-off to the first Life is Strange game. It isn't Life is Strange 2. It's like a stepping stones towards the larger story that Life is Strange 2 will cover. But yeah, it's a free entire game that they're just going to drop.
Yeah, it's like it's like a prequel to the sequel.
Basically.
Weird. Or like a side story prequel.
Either way, free game. But that was a very superhero orientated one, and I was like, oh god, Avengers must be next. But no, it wasn't. It very much wasn't. It wasn't at all.
Yeah, disappointing. I just had a quick look at Babylon's Fall. I do remember watching this because the first half of it just seemed to be dates
map
and pictures and stuff, and I'm like, what is this game though? Yeah. And then eventually it gets into a bit of gameplay, and it looks fine.
It's like big mech ninjas just smacking each other.
Yeah, which I feel like we get that sort of thing in the Nintendo conference, but we'll get to that.
We do. We also got a little bit more, just a bit of Final Fantasy 14 stuff. There's a little bit of expansion for online, as well as a little bit of a patch for 14 and a Monster Hunter World crossover, which maybe that's good. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I said before, I love a good company crossover, so let's do that. But yeah, Final Fantasy 4 for those who don't 14, sorry, for those who don't know, is actually an MMO. So yeah, I think it still has a pretty huge fan base, which is pretty cool. So sweet, good for them. I hope they enjoy this. And then we get a weird another trailer for a game that everyone seems really confused and disappointed with. The Quiet Man.
Oh, buddy.
This is real weird. It's it goes from FMV to PS3 graphics.
Oh,
real quick.
It's disgusting.
It's real weird.
End text is just stock white font on some lame city graphic.
Yeah, I
And you know how Senua Sacrifice really delved deep into the psyche of depression and anxiety and schizophrenia. This game is he's deaf.
Yeah.
This game is not going to do that.
Almost comedic.
Yeah.
Weird.
Not a big fan.
And that's basically Square Enix's disappointing thing. Cool. Then we got Ubisoft, which started with a big dance number.
Yeah, that was a conference and a half. Ubisoft was always the fun one. In terms of out of the big conferences, I mean, Devolver, as we've discussed beforehand, Devolver is where the chaos ensues, but Ubisoft is always the fun one. They've got some fun games.
Yeah. So they had this huge dance number that I've heard a lot of people say just went for far too long.
There was 4 songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap. I skipped a lot of
4 entire songs.
I watched the intro while they were on the street, and then once they got inside, I skipped to
Good choice.
After Just Dance Night 2019. I didn't watch any more of that. And jumped to the next game, which probably isn't the next game in our list, but The Division 2 is next in our list, which makes me want to play The Division. It's another game which is because you and I played that. We really enjoyed that. I think we streamed it.
We did. We filmed it.
Okay.
We filmed the beta. It never went up, but we did play it.
Oh, good. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, it makes me want to play the first one to know what's happening in the second one.
The Division 2 picks up after the first game in the sense that the virus that had spread throughout America has now passed, and Division 2 is picking up with the idea that now humankind are the virus, and they're like attacking human-on-human stuff. So that's kind of what we're going with.
That's cool.
Which is, I mean, I just caught you up.
Yeah.
Basically, Division 1, we fixed the virus. Division 2, humans are shit.
We already knew that, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but Trump shook the other guy's hand, so everything's fine now.
Oh, that's pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Uh,
But speaking of crazy, they're still doing scripted friggin' voice chat. Never do that. Why are you doing that, games? Stop doing that in games.
yeah, it's a little bit lame. Yeah, that was
you
weird.
look low level. We should fix that. Yeah, I know. I've been a bit busy. Fuck off.
So stupid. But yes, and then we went on to Metro, not Metroid.
Not
That is
Metroid.
Wrong
No.
company.
Metro Exodus.
Metro Exodus.
This is cool.
Yeah. Again, this is another game where I want to play all the others now. God, I've heard so many good things. I have a lot of people at AIE telling me to play these games.
Oh, I love a good train as well. Like, you know, it's one of the best things about Syndicate is that train. So give me more train action.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Is this the one where you like can make decisions and it changes everything?
It may be the previous Metro games, but yeah.
Yeah, because I thought this was the one. Is this the one where they're like, oh, you got to go get water, and if you get the water, then like everyone has water and the entire environment changes and like things are green.
Possibly.
But then like the government
do
like
it, then-
cracks down and is a lot more harsh. But then if you don't get the water, people die, but you can make more money.
Mm-hmm.
And the government is
Possibly.
a bit, like they help. I think that's that game. And
It
like
looks very driven by that kind of idea.
yeah, every decision changes everything in the game. And apparently that's like one of hundreds or thousands of decisions that you'll make, and it'll just alter everything slightly or hugely.
Dramatically.
So
I like a good game like that.
Yeah. I apologize if that is the incorrect game. But if it is two different games, I'm keen for both.
Yeah, just hit that comment button on SoundCloud and let us know what the game actually is. But moving on to a game that neither of us really care for, so we'll just say what it is. It's Jump Force, and it's a bit of Dragon Ball, a bit of Naruto, and a bit of One Piece. I
Yep.
care about One Piece. I really love One Piece. I've
Okay.
watched a lot of One Piece.
Really?
But, anyway, yeah.
I did not know that
was,
you've ever watched that.
You know Toasted TV, which is the thing came after Cheese TV in Australia?
I don't think I knew that, no. But sure.
Oh, but that's the thing that followed it, and you know that used to have your Pokemons and your SpongeBob's, and it had One Piece, and One Piece just has a really cool art style. And so as a kid, I was like, "Fuck, this looks cool." And One Piece has like Mr. Fantastic arms and shit, so I was like, "This is fun. This is really cool." And yeah, no, it's the one anime that I would say that I have well and truly watched. So maybe a tiny bit of me, like 6% of me is like, "Oh," and the rest of me is like, whatever."
Yeah, wow. I did not know that about you.
Yeah, good old One Piece. Also,
Yeah.
it had boats. Generally, I hate boats in terms of video games and stuff, so as long as there's no boats in this game, it's fine.
Great.
But-
I'm glad you added that in.
This is not intentional, but I'm just going to skip a few games to link it, but we got a little bit more Skull and Bones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got boats in it, so I fucking hate the game.
Yeah, this is pretty much Assassin's Creed 4 with the assassins cut out of it. And like much of the land stuff, it's basically just the boaty, fighty stuff.
Lots of boaty stuff. You know, Sea of
so-
Thieves, it's not better than that.
Yeah.
They look like they're on par in terms of like just emptiness.
Although it sounded like there were missions as well. I watched a bit more gameplay and stuff of this, and it sounded like there were quite a few more missions and things happening in that. So I guess we'll see. I feel like I'll probably skip this, but I'm interested to see where they take it and what actually happens in the game.
I also find it very odd because it is so stylized to the Assassin's Creed world, but to think it's got no assassins in it, but it's part of that. It seems like it's part of that universe. Like,
Yeah.
it's very odd.
Like you'll come across those characters.
Something
and stuff.
Templar, surely.
Yeah. Interesting.
But just on a note, we'll come back to it very shortly. But in Odyssey, we get Roman and Greek shanties when you're on your ship.
Yes.
Which is exciting.
So cool.
I think we're going to leave the two big games that we both know what they are. We'll leave them to the end and just go. We'll go to the happiest man on earth. Announced the new Trials Rising.
Oh man, that was such a weird thing to happen. That guy was so bizarre. He rode it on a motorbike, and then was all excited once he got on stage, and then pretended to trip / actually tripped, and then destroyed the.
They give you the monitor and shit.
It's just like the stand where they put all the notes and stuff, and he just crashes through it and breaks it. It's all scripted, but my goodness, that whole thing was so strange. And then he said that he was also the Prime Minister of Sweden or something.
Yeah.
What is wrong with that
It
guy?
was very odd. And I like it because he goes, Trials is all about crashing, but crashing with style. Yeah. Fuck, sure. I don't think that's at any point me playing any of the Trials game have I been like, I should crash, because when you crash, you fail. Like, what do you mean Trials is about crashing? Crashing is when you have to restart the level.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's almost like a Toy Story 1 reference.
Yeah.
You're crashing with style.
Style.
Yeah,
Well,
weird, but yeah, another Trials looks like Trials.
Like another Trials. Yeah.
Sure. I don't know if they added or took anything away from it, but yeah.
I think the exciting thing that came of the Trials announcement was the inclusion of a lot of Twitch and social media present Trials people that used to, well, at the same time, were posting content, but they've been employed by Ubisoft to make the tutorials and the tracks and, new models and stuff for the game. So a lot of the content in the game is created by fans of Trials Fusion, which is exciting.
That's very cool. Cool. And then we have Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Why?
Which it looks like Sky... what is it? No Man's Sky? I heard it very aptly nicknamed No Man's Skylanders.
I like that.
Which is
that a lot.
Such a good description of it, because it looked like No Man's Sky. I'm sure... I feel like people saw it and thought that it was...
I did.
Yeah, it looked like No Man's Sky Next. Like, I thought it was going to be that, but they're not Ubisoft. Like,
No.
It was so bizarre.
It's very odd.
But, yeah, so it looks like that. It even says Battle for Atlas, and Atlas is a huge thing in No Man's Sky. Like, what are they doing? But then it's...
so weird.
It's the Toys to Life sort of thing.
Yeah.
But sort of another unique take on it, which has got me a little bit interested.
It's kind of like it's found all the bits and pieces. So it's got the idea of a toy onto a plate, but it's also got the idea that Lego Dimensions introduced, which is like modifying your ship or modifying the creation, and that changes in the game.
Yeah, but it's different to the Lego one, because you could build it however you wanted. You didn't even have to build anything. And you just have to change it in the game. But this seems like you change it, and then when you put it on, the change you made has actually happened in the game.
Yeah.
I really hope that's it, because that is a cool idea for whoever's going to play this.
I don't know who it's for, because I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But like, if you get to freaking customize your ship in real life, and then that's the game... that's the ship in the game. Hell yeah, what a sick idea. But
hell frickin' yeah.
But I still don't know what this game is yet, or who it's for, as we just said, so...
Who it might be for is Mr. Miyamoto, because he seemed very excited about the idea.
He seemed excited. But
Star Fox was coming to the game.
Yeah, Star Fox is in this game, apparently. Sure, why not?
That guy is never not happy, though, so I can't tell if he's happy for the game or just happy to be alive. I don't know.
Yeah, I loved your very your very apt description of him being video games Stan Lee.
It's him.
That is 100%
it's the guy that's always there.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, so that was fine. And then we got Transference, which is
oh wow.
Yeah, it's a VR game made by
Elijah Wood and some other people.
Yeah, he's got a VR company now, apparently. This looks like a weird thing with a lot of FMV. I want VR, and I will get this game when I get VR, but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this game. It looks so strange.
I don't know.
It's so weird.
I think And it's very odd because I think the one driving force that would make people buy this game is Elijah Wood, but it looks like he's not in the game. Like, if Elijah Wood's made a video game company and there is FMV in a game, just let Elijah do a scene.
Yes.
Like, you'd think he would do it, because that's the only way that game's going to sell.
Yeah, totally. So bizarre. Anyway, moving on from that, because that was just super weird. The Crew 2...
It's in beta this week, so it's like they didn't have anything to say.
Okay.
They literally had nothing to say.
Yeah. It's another The Crew game. It's sure.
Yeah.
Another car racing game. And then the two big uns, we'll start with Assassin's Creed, which we talked about already. Looks great. Another Assassin's game. It looks more like lore-y. Like it's got more lore in it.
Much.
More sort of Greek mythos and stuff to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I posted on Facebook about this saying that the kick in the teaser looked very like superhuman.
Yep.
And
there's a reason.
It seems like that is absolutely it. So he's got this special knife spear thing, which allows him to be super strong and do all this crazy godlike stuff. So
the broken something of Leonidas is the thing.
Yeah.
I assume spear. But fun fact, there's like 3 fun facts in this. First fun fact is that one, it's set before Assassin's Creed Origins, so I think they probably wanted to save the name Origin for this game, but whatever, you know. Within that fun fact is the fact that Origin sets up the idea of Assassin, so I'm not sure what's going on with this one.
Yeah, that's real weird. What the hell?
And the third fun fact, and this is why I'm like Skull and Bones is quite a fun thing, because this is the equivalent. No hidden blades because they aren't assassins. That's why he has the spear, because that's his new weapon. The hidden blades are not crafted until Origins, so this is going to be the first Assassin's game where you're not got your hidden blade.
What? Okay.
You're going to have some new ways of assassinating.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So they're sort of revamping these games and making them very different.
Really are. And the third fun fact is just like, you know, there's a male and a female character that doesn't affect your gameplay at all. But whatever.
Yes. Yeah. That's kind of a cool thing. You can finally choose your character. That's awesome.
And she looks way more interesting than the man.
Yes. Not to mention, a lot of the gameplay they actually showed was the female.
Yeah.
So
she looks very cool.
She does. Yeah. I will probably choose her. Alexandra, maybe?
Cassandra.
Cassandra. Close enough. Alexandra.
And Alec is the broom bed knocks and broomsticks. The end of the gameplay that they showed at Assassin's Creed. The end of the Assassin's Creed Odyssey thing, they showed gameplay, and the end of that gameplay was like this big fight on a beach, and it was like, man, I'll play the female, and I'll just pretend I'm on Themyscira, because this looks like Themyscira. This looks like Wonder Woman.
Yes, yeah, that was such a cool ending. Like, you're fighting in an actual war with like hundreds of people. Oh man, so cool. So good.
Something equally good and a little bit evil is Beyond Good and Evil 2, and that opened the show after the weird Just Dance bullshit. Again, we didn't get much in terms of gameplay. We got a really good cinematic, as they seem incapable of not doing. God, it looked good.
Yeah, I want to know what this game is. Because all we got, like you said, was cinematic. Was there gameplay at all in anywhere else? Like,
there was gameplay during the conference. There was gameplay on the screen while they're talking about the gameplay. They just didn't focus on the gameplay for some reason. But the things we got out of it that I think they also mentioned was that there is ground combat, there is space combat, and you're able to go between the two, and that it's a big open space world. So you can go ground to space, get in your ship, and just go straight up and go out of planet and go to a different planet.
That's very cool.
Which is really exciting for Will.
Yeah, I love that. And on top of this game, which we didn't get much gameplay, we got a bit of Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, Joseph, get out of here, mate.
What the hell? It was so bizarre, but so good. Like, no, don't get out of here, no. Joseph. Stay, please. Because you're doing...
Plant your butt. Plunk yourself.
Yeah, you're doing amazing things for this.
Yeah.
Do you want to mention what they were doing?
His company, it kind of works on community engagement and, riling up communities and shit. So I assume he just punches a lot of old elderly. No, that's
I
probably
hope
not what he
so.
does.
I
But
hope so.
get in there, Robin. But let's get there. Let's get there. His company Hit Record has teamed up with Beyond Good and Evil's developers to kind of help flesh out the world of the games, and so there's going to be kind of monthly. Not competitions, it's just submit your own work, and it might end up on a billboard or on the side of a building, or it might be, if you record a podcast like this, it might end up in a car that, the little monkey dude will walk past in their open world. They just want to flesh out the open world, and the way they're going to do that is through people making shit for the game, which is incredible.
This is such an insane concept. It is nuts. It's so cool.
It also speaks volumes of how big this world's going to be, because they're like, oh, we can't be bothered, just give us some shit.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how they're going to do this. This is such a crazy, cool thing. I barely have words to talk about this. It's really, really exciting. I think you and I are both going to be submitting quite a few things to this.
So many penises.
Oh, yes. Like
oh yeah,
oh yes. I'll probably almost definitely be submitting some music. I assume you'll be doing videos and
graphics or something,
and things like that. Maybe we can throw up some
graphic dicks,
graphic dicks with my music behind it.
Yeah,
just sound effects.
Penis opens and the music comes out of it.
Oh, buddy. And then all I'm thinking of now is that one scene. Have you seen Bruno?
I have, yeah. I know what you think.
Yeah. Just the penis yelling, Bruno! So weird.
Oh, God.
Yes. Yeah, and maybe we'll throw up some ETTO stuff, maybe some podcasts and videos and whatever.
Some special recorded ones. Let's pretend to be from that world, talking about some politics of that world, and just be really freaking weird.
That would be cool. Yeah,
really
we'll
good.
do our own almost news segment about that.
Like Ricky Gervais in GTA 5, when you're just listening to a radio station, they're like, "Up next, Ricky Gervais." You're like, "Oh yeah, bullshit," and then Ricky Gervais is just there. You're like,
it's so bizarre.
Oh, I guess.
Very cool.
Okay.
Very, very cool.
We need to move on though, Josh, because it's 12 a.m.
We do. Oh, buddy. Yeah, and my roommate just came home, so he'll probably go to sleep soon.
Okay, we've got 3 more. Well, 2 more. Actually, let's do the stuff. Let's do the stuff at the bottom before we get to the 2 big ones.
Sure. Yeah, so we got A Plague Tale: Innocence. Man, this looks very sad.
It does. Shock. A Plague Tale: Innocence. Sad.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think I only saw this yesterday or the day before. Man, this looks intense. I don't know what the gameplay is going to be.
No,
but it's
lots of rats.
Yeah, there's a lot of rats attacking a lot of people, including a kid that looks like he's dying of the plague, with maybe his mother or older sister or someone trying to fend off the rats with a fire, and by the end of the trailer, the fire goes out. And you can only assume that they absolutely get destroyed by these thousands of rats surrounding them. Terrifying. I want this game. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm going to cry a lot. It's going to be real
to
sad.
The moon.
It's going to be
But on the other... yeah, no, go for it.
No, I was just going to say it's going to be really real.
Really real. That's good. Things that aren't really real.
Something that looks really not, yeah.
Yeah, is My Friend Pedro, which is Deadpool the video game, but not the Deadpool the video game, because we already had that. It's another Deadpool game that isn't with Deadpool in it. No Ryan Reynolds or Nolan North inside in this one. It's just, look, what I mean to say is the combat is so insane that you're like, okay, only Deadpool could be inside that little polygonal face.
Yes, yeah. And the reason why we say it looks like Deadpool is at the beginning of Deadpool 2, it just shows a whole bunch of him breaking into buildings and just shooting up people in the most ridiculous fashion, and that is this game.
It's this. It looks very good.
Yeah, and one thing I love about this, because at first it's like, okay, this is just going to be a weird 2.5D, I guess, side-scrolling bullet hell game. But as the trailer goes on, they just keep adding more mechanics to what you see, and it's this. It just sort of opens up and shows you how many different things you can do in this game, Oh,
Yep.
it looks so
it looks
fun.
very good.
There's a couple of other games that we don't have on our list, which I don't know where they belong, so let's just throw them here.
Yep.
We have, it's a game that I'm now suddenly forgetting. Sable. Sable is the one with the crazy art that looks like a cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
That art style looks so unique and so amazing, and
it's something I've not seen in a game.
Yeah, I am in like 10,000 billion%. Holy crap, give me that game already. It looks so good. We also didn't talk about Control.
No, Control's coming up. Control's coming up in Sony, but we'll talk about it now so we can just smash through the Sony.
Yep, cool. Yeah, that looks like...
It looks like Quantum Break and Portal had a little baby with like, I don't know, Tomb Raider.
Like it looks... Visually, it looks a little bit generic, but gameplay-wise, it looks really fun.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
What was the game? There was one other that we don't have on our list, I don't think. I might be jumping ahead. Doesn't look like it. The one everyone's saying that looks like Zelda, but it's a Poncho? No. I wish I remembered. I can't remember what it was. But yeah,
it's coming. It's coming.
This looks really interesting. Like it looks like a 2D Zelda puzzle game, which gets me all excited because I love those sorts of games. I would love to play this game on Switch in particular. I think that would be really cool.
I'm trying to think. Here it comes. Tunic.
Tunic, thank you. Not Poncho.
Not Poncho. You were close though.
Yeah,
You were closer than I would have thought when you said the word Poncho.
I got there.
That's a weird choice.
But yeah, this looks pretty cute, interesting, and yeah, I would love to jump in on that. And speaking of jumping in, let's jump into Sony.
Yep. But just before the conference started, we had 5 days of announcements, and most of those announcements weren't anything crazy. There was like a Days Gone announcement of their date and, a VR title that no one will care about. But something we don't know if we care about yet is Tetris Effect, which is the game announcement that kicked off their 5 days of announcements.
Yeah, this was weird. So this was Tetris VR, and it looks absolutely insane. It's like
a lot going on.
Do you want to play Tetris in VR in a nightclub where everyone's drunk or high? Like, it's so strange.
There's one point where it's like scanning over a moon's surface or something. It's
yeah.
Like, oh, okay, all right, fine.
What is happening in this Tetris game? It looks bizarre. I want to play it. I don't know why, because it's just Tetris, but they've just gone nuts with it. Sure.
I love a good bit of nut Tetris. But kicking off the conference, we started in a church, which was confrontingly different.
And this was for The Last of Us 2.
And we didn't know why we were in the church, but yeah, as soon as The Last of Us 2's cinematic gameplay stuff kicked off, it was very clear that not us, but everyone at E3, were in the location that the cinematic was taking place, which was awesome. What a clever thing.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing. And before all of that even, whilst we were in the church, we got the composer of the music playing the theme on banjo.
A little banjo man.
For probably, again, way too long.
A little bit too long.
It was a
I know the riff
thing, but it was quite beautiful.
And I feel like he played the riff once.
yeah, totally. But yeah, it was this trailer was amazing.
Oh,
so good.
Oh my goodness.
And have you even started it yet? I've been telling you all week to play this game.
Not at all. But I've seen the whole game about 4 times. So okay. I know the story very well, and oh my god, I'm so ready.
Yeah. This looks great. It's just real good. The combat and everything just looks really smooth and
there's no way in hell that I'm going to react to a dude around a corner, turn around, fire him in the head. Like, there was an expert playing it, but whatever.
Can I just quickly ask, because you probably noticed this, was this a God of War style single shot?
Actually no, it wasn't. It was one shot from the point that Ellie embraced with that person, because beforehand it was Ellie looking, seeing the dance, like cutting between that. So not entirely one shot.
Yeah, I meant more specifically the gameplay section.
The gameplay
was all
one
totally.
Shot. Yeah.
And I'm intrigued to know whether the amount of stuff that they actually do in the gameplay is actually possible, or whether some of it was a bit like pre-rendered.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cheeky Naughty Dog thing. They generally have a lot of pre-rendered shit.
But one thing that it blew my mind for some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Which was when they're inside the shop, and she squeezes between two shelves.
Yeah.
That, I don't know why, that got me all excited.
That was the exciting thing. Yeah, right.
Because I was like, you'd never do that. There's always there's always a collider between those things, and you can never squeeze between two things that you think you should be able to, but you can't. But she just does it, and it's very smooth and well done. There was a few other things on a similar level that was just like, surely that's not going to be a thing that you can do. Like just very, very small things that gamers have essentially been trained to know that, no, you can't do that. Like you can't squeeze between those two things because they're solid and they're probably connected in the collider, in the collider that you can't see. But you know that you can't get through there. But you can? Maybe, hopefully.
Maybe,
man.
we'll see.
Naughty Dog, please give us that. Just take these games to another new level, like you do every time. Oh, buddy. All right, we should keep jumping through. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima.
We should.
My goodness.
Oh, that's okay. We'll get to at the end of the whole thing. We'll quickly give our game of the thing, but you know, maybe this will be mine. Oh, what a freaking thing! Oh,
so good. This looks insane. This is the other ninja game that we were talking about before, and this just looks like beautiful. One of the most beautiful games of the conference.
You know, starting in what I assumed was cinematic, and then the game just continued. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So Naughty Dog isn't alone anymore.
Yeah. This is absolutely insane. I don't know. It just looks stunning. Just the autumn leaves falling as you're fighting a character that was supposed to be on your side, but now isn't all of a sudden, and has their own reasons for it, and it's all very emotional.
I'm gonna get this is. I'm gonna treat this like Red Dead will be treated as the West world. This will be the samurai world. This is what I'll treat this game as.
Okay. Yeah.
It's my escape into that park.
Yeah, man. Oh, buddy.
There's not much more we could really say, but the one other bit in this that was like, I'm in, is when he just stands there and the dude approaches him, and I assume it's like one button press, and he just goes, "Ashing," and the guy's head just like, fuck, he's dead.
Yeah.
Just press a single button, the guy just like samurais it.
A quick jump through a couple more. We have Resident Evil 2 Remake, which, fine, sure. A lot of the fans of this...
Awesome trailer.
Yeah.
I really love the trailer.
A lot of the fans of this seemed really, really keen. I don't think you and I have ever played a Resident Evil game.
I played like 10 minutes of the remaster that PS Plus gave us.
Okay, yep.
That's it.
Cool. So that's fine. Yep. And then we've got Trovar, not Trevor, but Trovar Saves the Universe. So this is Justin Brolin and some game company making a game together, and it's just Justin Brolin most of the time in a bath.
Justin Roland.
Sorry?
Not Josh Brolin. Not Josh Brolin or Justin Brolin. Justin Roland. Not Brolin.
My bad. Yeah. My bad. I'm getting everyone mixed up. Just him talking in a bathtub exactly like Rick, and then another character comes in talking exactly like Morty. And then the gameplay doesn't actually look that great or smooth or interesting.
Yep. Like I said on my E3 thing, it's like it's a average indie game that's being funded by Justin Roiland, and it's just like I'll talk in it for you, and it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Guess that's fine.
Yeah, this will be a thing.
Like, of all the things they could reveal in their very, very, very limited trailers from the Sony conference, this is not one that should have been there.
Yeah. This was a weird sort of left field one. Maybe people are excited that are like massive fans of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to jump into this just to hope that it's good. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm so torn on this because you and I really like Rick and Morty, but
this just looks bit shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Then we get another weird game that looks freaking crazy, which is Death Stranding. I'm getting so tired right now.
I know. Like, here's the thing: there isn't even that much to talk about this game because there's very little we learned. Look, wrapping it up, he walks around. He's clearly like a delivery dude. At one point, he's delivering a dead body.
Which is so strange.
It's very odd. It's terrifying how much he looks like Norman Reedus. Like, it actually is a little bit confronting.
Yeah, I hope his name is Norman Reedus, and this is just an alternate universe where that guy is now a delivery man in like a strange apocalyptic world or something.
It's like if Harrison Ford stayed a carpenter, if Norman Reedus had just stayed a delivery man. He never took on that role on The Walking Dead.
Yeah. And then it turns into like a horror game. Like he's walking across all these different places, and then suddenly it's a horror game where he rips out his own toenails and has to hide from an invisible creature.
Yeah, Spiky Shoulders turns up with a stupid umbrella.
Oh,
it's very odd. It's so much happens. We're both not really Kojima fans, but I don't even know if Kojima fans are fans of Kojima or they're like worshippers. Like, they don't understand like how people who like don't understand religion might still worship it.
Yep.
Like that's the equivalent.
Yeah, this is very strange. Everyone, it seems very interested in this game, but I feel like it's just because no one knows what's happening. But then on top of that, there's that link that I sent you the other day, where there was an image released of a woman, I think maybe holding a baby, maybe not, I can't remember, but she has a necklace, and somehow people grabbed the design of that necklace and broke it down, and realized that it represented a melody of a song, and then they found out what that song was, and apparently the story of Death Stranding has a lot to do with the story in the song.
Because the devs saw the image and they're like, yeah, no, that's true, that's real, and so
that is crazy. What the hell, fan base? How the hell does anyone do that?
Maybe the devs were like, oh, I hope no one works this out. And if they do, I mean, they deserve to know if it's true or not.
Yeah, this is insane detective work. Probably our highest, most absolute favorite game that we just want in our hands right now, and would give not even just our firstborn, but any of our children and our future generations for the Spider-Man game on PS4.
I'd make 5 children, and each of them, one would be called Please, one would be called Give, one would be called Me, one would be called This, and the last one would be Game. And I would give them all to Sony and be like, here you go. Admittedly, the game probably would be out already.
Probably, by the time you find someone to make 5 children with.
Yeah,
and
unless I can get it all in one go, but then because it's still like 9 months. No help.
Probably not, but yeah. Oh man, this game is nuts. This game looks so great.
It just makes me so happy. Makes me so happy.
Yeah, the fact that in the 9-minute trailer or whatever, we see like in the cutscene of gameplay, we see 4 out of the 6 of the Sinister Six.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And that we also know that Shocker is already in the game because there was a little thing from like a previous trailer. It's like, is every villain in this game?
Oh man, it looks immense. It looks like it's just going to be so much. And then you sent me during the week a screenshot from another gameplay where in the distance, in this city, you see Avengers Tower.
Ooh, buddy.
It has the logo on it and everything. What?
And here's the thing. Maybe nothing happens from that. Maybe it's just a thing placed in the universe. But the fact still stands that this is not an Avengers game. It's not like a Marvel Universe game. This is a Spider-Man game that has the official headquarters of the Avengers in it, which is a friggin' huge thing.
That is massive.
We're climbing to the top of that as soon as we get that game.
Oh, yes. First thing, we're going to find that. As soon as we get out into the open world, I'm going there.
But apart from that, I think... have you got any theories on the who Spidey sees? Because I'm just going Mysterio.
Yeah, you thinking that?
Yeah.
I would probably jump on one of the Sinister Six, the ones that we haven't seen yet.
So maybe Doc Ock
for those who haven't seen it, it ends with Spidey sort of getting beaten up a little bit, and then he's on the ground and he looks up and he goes, "You?" And that's it. You don't see who he's looking at or talking to, but either it's just a very cleverly placed part of the trailer where he actually says more than that, where he's like, "You can't do this" or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it's one of the Sinister Six. It probably won't happen, but I'm really hoping it's an Avenger or something. It would be so cool to see another superhero from the Marvel Universe in this.
That'd be the best. So here's an additional theory that Dan... Shit, what's his last name? Dan Crowder. It's very late, Dan, if you're not listening to this. It's a theory that we've came up with that I think I started, and then he continued, and then I started a little bit more of. Because it all started with the idea that all we've seen prior to this E3 gameplay is the same levels over and over, all the open world. So it's very clear that they're clutching onto something, or at least they're clutching onto a larger portion of the game. And also the fact that the special edition that is sold out everywhere and hurts me internally that I didn't buy it, they didn't reveal the statue. They revealed that there is a statue, but it's completely covered, and they're like, we're not revealing it yet.
Oh, man.
Our theory, my theory was that early on in the game, Peter Parker dies, and this is a Miles Morales game. And I mean, in this moment, Peter Parker gets stabbed in the back and looks pretty dead, so maybe he's dying, and Miles comes in to save the day. And the reason that, and follow up, the reason why they haven't shown the statue is they don't want to show that the statue's Miles, because that kind of spoils who the main character is.
Yeah. And at the end of, I think, the original sort of extended trailer that was released last year, I think, you see a little African-American kid, which I think is assumed that it's Miles Morales. There is something big coming in this game.
Yeah. So if anything, I think Miles will be somewhat relevant.
I wonder, this could work very well with the incoming, Into the Spider-Verse film. Maybe they're just trying to push Miles real big. This is a prologue to that movie. Yeah, this is massive. This is a huge step.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, Spider-Man, freaking great. We can smash for Nintendo because, we both love Nintendo, but nothing that they showed really is our jam. But it's like, I don't know, Vegemite, where we're like, we'll have a little bit of that.
Yeah. So for probably half to maybe over half of the entire Nintendo show, they just talked about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is the new Super Smash Bros. With every character from a Smash Bros. Game and potentially
except
also every level as well. What did you say then? Sorry?
Except Waluigi, because they kind of forgot that he was in games.
Yes, but he is in the game, but he's one of the assist characters, so I think that's how they got around that. They ended up going through like every single freaking part about every individual character almost. And
incredible.
I feel like they just needed to fill it up, so they filled it up with discussing every last bit of this damn game. Whatever. But yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of fun. They're releasing Switch versions of the GameCube controller for those purists of Super Smash Melee, or Melee, or however you want to pronounce it, which is
definitely Melee, and you can
which is one of the favorites and one of the big sort of competitive copies of or versions of Super Smash.
And you can also chuck on any amiibo character of any of the characters in the game, which, makes a use for amiibos.
Yeah, for sure. So, yep, that was a large part of it. And then they skimmed over Super Mario Party a little bit. They showed that, which looked like fun.
Good.
Looked like another Mario Party. They did a tiny bit, not much more information about it, but Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. That game's got me pretty excited. I want to play that, and I want one of those stupid little Pokeball
Plus
Joy-Cons, which comes with Mew in it already, which I recently got in Pokemon Go because I'm amazing. But I think a lot of people have that now. But yeah, it's it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting, pretty fun. I think it's a yellow remake, from what I can tell.
Yeah, there's a map comparison that's up online, which is quite impressive. Seeing them side by side.
Okay, cool. I'll need to see that.
Really cool.
I haven't seen that yet.
I shall link you.
Cool. And yeah, what did they start with? They started with some crazy.
They started with Mecha X Machina.
That's
which
the one.
Looks like a big mech game smashing robot dicks with their swords and
That's right.
anime stuff.
I think I heard that you were like playing as the president in a mech suit.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's what I heard from another podcast that I listened to. It's just going to be so bizarre, but
also the press conference in Australia started at 3 a.m. and it was like really hardcore screamo, and it hurt me quite bad.
Yeah, that was that was a pretty intense song to start with, especially for a Nintendo thing, which is like almost notoriously a family company, to start with a game that is mechs killing each other with like intense metal screamo music.
Yeah.
Bizarre. Very, very strange. I don't know why we have these other ones on our list, because I don't remember them being in Nintendo, but Super Meat Boy Forever, which is the sequel to Super Meat Boy. We've got Overcooked 2, which is the sequel to Overcooked, and The Surge 2, which is the sequel to The Surge.
Sequel to The Surge.
Sure.
And that's it.
Those look fun.
But it's fine. I think one thing that showed through on Nintendo is they were going back somewhat to their family roots, because I feel like when the Switch was announced, it was very much, a lot of single-player driven things, or like two-player, but it was very much, it was leaving that kind of family, young sort of demographic. It felt like it was maturing a bit. Yeah. But we're coming back with that with Mario Party and Overcooked 2 and stuff, which I think is fun. It's great.
Yeah,
that's what Nintendo is, so don't leave too soon.
Yes, and they're all sort of the sorts of games that older people still play because they grew up with them, like people our age and older, sort of young adults are still loving those games, but it's games that kids can jump in on very easily and absolutely love and grow up with, just like we did.
Yeah.
So very good, Nintendo. Like their conference was pretty boring, and they didn't announce too many new things really.
No.
Or things that were blowing minds, but I'm sure these games will be great and will sell really well, and they'll make all the money as they always do, excluding when they release the Wii U.
Oh dear. But yes. One thing that we haven't got on any list, and we'll just both say how excited we are for it, because PlayStation Access had a quick look at Spyro, the whatever their trilogy is called, and It looks very, very good.
Yes, it does. It looks as Crash Bandicoot did. It looks exactly how I remember Spyro being, but definitely did not look back then. It looks so great. It
looks stunning.
It sounds like they've done a lot of work to essentially do exactly that, make it look like how we remember it looking.
Yeah, possibly even more work than Crash, because they had no core things to use. They've built it from, as they always say, the ground up. They had no maps, they had no code. They just kind of like eyeballed quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
It's crazy, yeah. Is this also Vicarious Visions? It's the same company, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But also speaking just quickly on Crash, they are releasing a entirely brand new level for the Switch and for all the Go versions. So I think there'll be an update for all copies, but with the release of the Switch, Crash Bandicoot as well as Xbox, a whole new level that the dev team have created with a bunch of new traps and stuff. Because their basic thing, they were like, we basically recreated the game, and as we created it again, we were like, I think we could create our own level, because we basically had to relearn how they created the game. So they've done that. They've created a brand new level for Crash Bandicoot, which is really cool.
That's really cool. I would very much be keen for them to make a new Crash game.
Oh yeah.
Like
maybe
Crash,
this is a taster.
Crash 4, and just ignore that any of those other ones came on PS2 or later. It didn't happen. I never played them. Did you ever play those ones?
There was one that I played, which was like, the cover was very green with Neo Cortex on Crash's back, like riding him like a surfboard. That's all I remember.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That says it all, really.
Yep, it certainly does. Yeah.
All right, let's just end this. We've got to end this, Josh. We've got to end it. But what was your game of show? Show of game? Game of show?
Game of show. Oh, man. Look, Spider-Man is the one I'm most looking forward to. I feel like we basically said all of this already. All of our top games, I think we gushed for the most part.
For the most of it.
It's going to be that. It's going to be Ghost of Tsushima. It's going to be
Tomb Raider.
freaking Tomb Raider. It's going to be Kingdom Hearts 3. No, it's not. Yeah, those are my absolute top ones. I'm super keen for them. And one of the annoying things which you pointed out to me was the fact that Spider-Man, Spyro, and Tomb Raider come out in the same month this year, which is in like 2 or 3 months. Oh, man.
Not good.
Out of all of those, I'm just getting Spider-Man, and I'll probably let the other ones fall behind a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You got Christmas.
I do have Christmas. And another person who has Christmas is you. And another thing that you have are top games for this. So what are your top games?
I do.
Segue, man.
That was perfect.
I'm the master.
Perfect segue. A master of segues. You could ride them all day, just like Job in Arrested Development, which is my best mate, Will Arnett. I've got Spider-Man as number 1 because it's fucking Spider-Man. I mean, I said number 1. I'm not going to number the rest
what
of
are you
them.
doing to Spider-Man? You can't do that to Spider-Man.
I'm fucking him. It's late. I don't care. I mean, you might be watching this at 12 a.m. Oh, wait. I meant to say, like, a really early, which I guess is still true. Let's fucking move on. Spider-Man, I'm fucking him. Tomb Raider.
Oh, man.
Tomb Raider, Last of Us 2, which you didn't mention, but I assumed you agree with.
Yep.
Ghost of Tsushima. Basically everything in Sony's press conference, including Control, I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I guess Assassins and Forza. And just FYI, I am holding a pencil and I tapped each game that I talked.
Nice. Very good.
There we go.
I
think we should go to bed, Josh, with each other.
Ooh, okay. Is Spider-Man coming?
I'll bring Peter as well, yeah.
Yeah, so this conference, a little bit disappointing in parts, but there are so many games that I feel like we're going to jump in on. Games that have been out for a while that I feel like we want to jump in on as well. And there's probably a lot of games that are on our must playlist, like Doom and those ones, which there's just so many games that we can't even mention, but I think we got our point across in this that there are so many. Oh, Assassin's Creed Odyssey has to be on there for me as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's just my jam.
Like I said, every single game that was shown, even games of series that I don't care about, apart from Skull and Bones, I didn't care about that even when they showed it to me. Mm-hmm. Every single game they showed, I was like, I want that.
Don't we just want Just Dance 2019?
Get that in me. Get that panda all the way over me. All right, let's go to because what I wanted to do there was I wanted to take it away from a sexual connotation and move it more so into the idea that I would wear the panda suit. So I went with all the way over me.
Good.
That's what I did there.
Very good.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this, Daniel McCormack, and anyone else that got all the way to the end of this. I hope you have a great day and evening, and if you want to support us, we're on Patreon. It's patreon.com/each their own.
Indeed.
$2. What does it get at you, Josh?
What's a what?
What does it get you?
Oh,
what
what's
do
it
get
get me? It gets me more people onto our Discord, which is great.
Yeah.
So $2 will get you onto our Discord. At least I think there's probably some other stuff. You set it up, so you probably know a lot more about this than me. So you threw me in the deep end. Thank you very much for doing that at 12:45 a.m. on a Sunday.
I assumed that you would have gone on one of our websites. It's fine.
Yeah, look, I've looked and skimmed.
That's good.
There's some other stuff we're gonna be doing, like early releases of things to you guys. I don't think we've done that yet. We seem to just make stuff and then put it up immediately, but we should really start doing that for those people. Just put it up a day or two early for them, since they're supporting us so lovely.
Yeah, lovely. And we'll put it up, and there'll be a link in the Discord, which you can only get to with your $2.
That's right. Hell yeah. Yeah. So yeah, come and hang out on there if you want. Like we
we all say hello there.
Yeah, totally. And like you've said in a lot of the videos that you've announced these on, if don't give us your money if you need it, please. And I doubt you would anyway, but we only if you have a bit of spare change or whatever, But obviously there's a lot of games that Will and I are going to be spending a lot of money on, and I'm sure you guys are too. So
Yeah.
don't miss out on those games, because we would prefer that you enjoy those than give us your money instead. So please, just whatever you can, if you want, doesn't even matter. We don't care that much whether we get your money or not, but it would be a massive support.
Just chuck us a coin.
Yeah, and it would be just so great to have more people on there to chat to and build up a awesome fan base and a lovely community, not a love community. But a lovely...
That's me and Peter.
Oh yes, a lovely community where we can all just chat and talk and be heaps into nerd things.
Or in my case, heaps into nerds. But until the next podcast that we do, which was probably Incredibles and Tag, which is the strangest assortment of films, maybe a little bit Jurassic World as well. That will probably be next week. But until then, the Doctor of Who going to bed.
Oh, very much so. And Sheep also freaking going to bed, because it's 1:45 a.m. on a Sunday.
It's nap time.
My goodness. All right. Good night, everybody. Love you all. See you around soon.
Play us out, Ringo.
What?
Play us out. He sings a song called Good Night, and I'll use that song.
Oh, good. Bye, Ringo.
Close